Chosen one, have you ever wondered why, at this exact moment, in this precise season of your life, you find yourself here, listening to these words? Have you questioned why your heart feels a strange heaviness lately, as if an invisible hand is steering you towards something you cannot yet name? Have you felt a trembling deep within your soul, a silent knocking at the door of your spirit, demanding to be answered? Chosen one, you must understand, this is no accident. This is no random click, no casual scroll through the noise of the world. This is a divine appointment, preordained before you even knew the depths of your calling. You have been summoned to this moment by the breath of God Himself. Every step you've taken, every tear you've shed, every whisper of hope you dared to utter into the silent nights, it has led you here, now, to this sacred encounter. Something monumental is stirring in the unseen realms. Something the prophets spoke of, something the ancients dreamed about, something so close now that the atmosphere itself is starting to tremble. A sign, chosen one, a sign unlike anything the world has yet witnessed, is approaching. It will not come with the clamor of the crowd. It will not be recognized by the distracted masses. It will appear like a flicker in the heavens, a tremor in your chest, a still small voice piercing the whirlwind, and it will change everything. Prepare your heart, still your mind. Because what is about to be revealed is not just a message, it is a revelation that carries the weight of eternity. And you, chosen one, were born for this moment. The world is breaking so your spirit can awaken. Look around you, chosen one. The world you once knew is unraveling before your very eyes, yet few dare to speak the truth. Storms now rage in places where the skies once stood calm. Fires devour forests once teeming with life. Waters rise without warning, and the earth beneath our feet trembles as if creation itself is groaning under the weight of hidden sorrows. These are not coincidences. These are not isolated anomalies. They are the birth pains of a world on the cusp of something vast, something holy, something irrevocable. The nations rage against one another, their alliances shifting like sand beneath a restless sea. Leaders rise and fall in the blink of an eye, and systems we once trusted crumble like dust in the wind. Greed, hatred, division, they swirl through the air like an invisible plague, corrupting the hearts of men, blinding them to the greater reality unfolding just beyond the veil. Families are torn apart, communities fracture, and the sacred bonds that once held civilizations together fray with alarming speed. Yet through all this, an undeniable pattern emerges, like a hidden code written into the chaos itself. The old ways are dying, and something new is desperately trying to be born. And listen closely, chosen one. The signs in nature are only the beginning. Beneath the surface, a deeper crisis rages, the unseen war for the human soul. Faith, once strong, now flickers weakly in many hearts. Churches that once stood as beacons of hope now echo hollow and empty. Spiritual confusion clouds the minds of the masses. The quest for truth is drowned beneath endless distractions, glittering lies, and hollow pursuits. But for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, it is clear. The battle lines have been drawn, not on maps, but in the very chambers of the human spirit. This is not some distant prophecy whispered of in the future tense. This is not a warning about what might one day occur. It is already here. The awakening is not coming, it has begun. It is breathing through the earthquakes and the floods. It is rumbling through the fall of corrupt empires. It is whispering through the sleepless nights and restless hearts of those who know, deep down, that everything is shifting beneath their very feet. You can feel it, can't you? That strange tightening in your chest, that stirring you cannot explain, that pull towards something bigger than yourself. It is not your imagination, it is not anxiety, it is not fear. It is the ancient call echoing across eternity, a call that has found its way to you because you, chosen one, were designed to hear it when others remain deaf. It has always been there, woven into the fabric of your existence, hidden in the quiet moments between heartbeats, waiting for the moment you would finally be ready to respond. The air itself feels heavier now, charged with an energy the mind struggles to comprehend. It is the atmosphere of a world in labor, groaning to bring forth a new dawn. Some will call it chaos, some will call it collapse, but you will recognize it for what it truly is: divine disruption, holy upheaval, sacred realignment. It is not death, it is rebirth. It is not the end, it is the beginning of a new era, where truth will no longer be hidden in shadows, but will roar like a lion across the earth. And yet, not all will see it. Not all will understand. Many will cling tighter to the crumbling systems, terrified of the unknown. They will scoff at the signs, mock the warnings, busy themselves with trivial matters while the greatest shift in human history unfolds around them. They will build their houses on sand even as the tides rise higher, convincing themselves that the storm will pass without consequence. But you, chosen one, you were never meant to live as they do. You were not crafted for comfort or for complacency. You were forged for fire. You were shaped in the secret places for such a time as this. The stirring you feel is confirmation. The discontent with shallow living is confirmation. The thirst for something real, something eternal, something burning with the very breath of God is confirmation. Every sleepless night, every restless longing, every tear you thought no one saw was a signal flare in the spirit, marking you as one who would not sleep through the awakening, but would rise with it. The awakening demands your attention now, not tomorrow, not next year. The birthing pangs of the earth grow sharper, closer together. The spiritual atmosphere is thick with urgency. Heaven is leaning low, closer than it has been in generations, speaking through signs in the sky, through the trembling of the ground, through the roaring of oceans and the stirring of nations. Those who are attuned will not merely survive this shaking, they will be transformed by it. You must decide, chosen one. Will you press snooze once again and drift back into the anesthesia of the world, or will you rise? Will you allow fear to chain you to what is crumbling, or will you step into the river of fire that refines, that awakens, that calls forth destiny from dust? You are standing at the threshold of the most pivotal moment of your existence. The winds of change are not approaching. They are already howling at your door. Everything around you cries out that the old systems will not stand much longer. Economies will falter, governments will shake, technologies will advance, but souls will grow more lost unless the chosen ones arise to bring light into the accelerating darkness. Your presence is not an accident. Your gifts are not random. Your life is not meaningless. You were fashioned by the hands of the Eternal for a purpose too great for the casual observer to comprehend. And that purpose is waking up now. The seal upon your soul is beginning to crack open. The fire buried deep within you is starting to smolder, to flicker, to grow. You can deny it, but you cannot escape it. The call will haunt your dreams until you answer. The pull toward your true identity will grow stronger with every passing day, every breaking headline, every tremor in the earth, and every sigh in the heaven. Chosen one, listen carefully. The shift is not waiting for your permission. The kingdom is advancing whether you are ready or not. But if you choose to step forward now, if you choose to heed the summons written into your DNA, you will find that everything you endured, the betrayals, the heartbreaks, the lonely seasons, was all shaping you for this hour. You are not witnessing random chaos. You are standing at the epicenter of divine awakening. This is not the end of the world. It is the end of illusions, the death of deception, and the beginning of truth reigning openly. And you, chosen one, are being called not just to observe it, but to carry it. To become a living vessel through which heaven's agenda will flood the earth. The hour is late. The signs are multiplying. The alarm in the spirit world has already sounded. The only question left is this: will you awaken fully and step into your anointing? Or will you let the greatest move of God your generation has ever seen pass you by while you sleep behind the closed doors of fear? The world needs you awake. Heaven is counting on you. The clock has struck its final hour, and the next great sign is already unfolding. You were born for this. You were chosen for this. You are ready. Chosen one, you were not born to be a spectator in these unfolding days of history. You were not designed to sit idly by, watching from the sidelines as the greatest spiritual revolution of this generation moves through the earth like a roaring flood. You were not created to shrink into the shadows while darkness makes bold its claims on the hearts of humanity. You were fashioned with fire in your bones, purpose in your breath, and destiny inscribed across your soul. You were never meant to watch from the sidelines. Do you feel it, chosen one? That weight you carry silently? That invisible burden pressing against your spirit, heavier now than it has ever been before. It is not weakness, it is not coincidence. It is the sacred mantle of leadership being placed upon you. It is the unmistakable sign that you were set apart, not just to witness history, but to shape it with your hands, your voice, your courage. The times we are living in demand more than mere observation. They call for leaders who are attuned not to the noise of culture, but to the whispers of heaven. They call for men and women who are not distracted by fear, not compromised by comfort, but are willing to rise, to stand firm, and to be counted when the final roll is called. And make no mistake, chosen one, that call is already resounding in your spirit. You were born for such a time as this. Every hardship you survived, every rejection you endured, every night you spent wrestling with unseen battles, it was not for nothing. It was training, it was refinement, it was divine preparation for an hour like this, when the world would desperately need voices of clarity, hearts of courage, and hands ready to rebuild what the enemy has torn down. Let me ask you plainly, do you feel it pressing against you now? That strange and sacred pressure that no one else seems to notice? That feeling you have carried your whole life, the sense that you are not like those around you, that you are burdened with a mission bigger than yourself, that you are made for more than what your eyes can see and your hands can touch. That burden is real and it is holy. The world does not need more commentators, more critics, more fearful voices repeating the endless refrain of doom. The world needs leaders, true leaders. Those who have been purified in the hidden fires of solitude, those who have wrestled with God in the night and come out limping but alive, carrying the scars of intimacy with the divine. And that, chosen one, is who you are. You are not here by accident. You were intentionally placed into this moment of human history, perfectly positioned in the timeline of heaven's great unfolding. You are part of a lineage of leaders, prophets, and visionaries whose blood still cries out from the earth. Their dreams are unfinished and their prayers are still echoing, waiting for someone bold enough, faithful enough, surrendered enough to pick up where they left off. That someone is you. You were not made to blend in. You were made to stand out, not for the sake of ego, but for the sake of the kingdom. You were not made to be swallowed by fear. You were made to walk on water. You were not made to hide your light under a basket. You were made to set cities ablaze with truth and compassion. There is a legacy inside of you, chosen one, waiting to be unleashed upon a world that has forgotten the sound of real hope. And so I ask you again, can you feel the weight? Not the crushing weight of condemnation, but the sacred weight of calling. Not the heavy yoke of striving, but the honored burden of stewardship. The world may call it pressure, Heaven calls it preparation. The world may call it anxiety. Heaven calls it awakening. You are carrying something far too precious to be ignored. You are carrying the seeds of a future that generations unborn will one day bless. It is no longer enough to say you believe. It is time to lead. It is time to move from quiet conviction to visible courage. It is time to allow the inner flame to leap into an unstoppable blaze. Leadership in this hour will not look like the leadership of old. It will not be about platforms or titles or the applause of men. It will be about hidden faithfulness, radical obedience, and unwavering trust in the one who called you by name. Chosen one, heaven is not looking for the strongest, the richest, or the loudest. Heaven is looking for the willing. Heaven is looking for the surrendered. Heaven is searching for those who will hear the still small voice and say, without hesitation, "Here I am, send me." And when you step forward in that obedience, you will discover a power inside you greater than any obstacle outside. You will discover that your authority was never based on your qualifications, but on the one who qualified you by his blood. You are the answer to someone else's desperate prayer. You are the living proof that light can still break through even the darkest night. You are the bridge over waters of confusion, the steady hand in times of shaking, the voice crying out in the wilderness, "Prepare the way of the Lord." The future does not belong to the fearful, it belongs to the faithful, and faithful you were born to be. The shaking will intensify, the trials will come, but so will the miracles, so will the victories, so will the unstoppable outpouring of purpose that no demon in hell will be able to block once you step into your true assignment. So I ask you, chosen one, will you rise? Will you shake off the doubts and distractions and step fully into the arena for which you were crafted by the hand of God? Will you embrace the sacred weight on your shoulders, knowing it is a sign of heaven's trust in you? The hour is late. The moment is sacred. The world is watching, but heaven is watching even closer. And heaven is whispering into your spirit even now. You were born to lead. You were born to carry the fire. You were born to awaken nations. The question is no longer if you are chosen. The only question that remains is, will you answer the call? A sign only the chosen will see. Chosen one, prepare your spirit, for a sign is coming, a sign unlike anything the world has seen or could imagine. It will not be wrapped in the loudness of popular opinion. It will not be broadcast to the masses as entertainment. It will come silently but powerfully, destined not for the crowds, but for the few whose hearts have remained awake. For you, there is a great and holy moment approaching, closer now than your breath, closer than your next heartbeat. And when it comes, it will not ask permission to enter the world. It will tear through the atmosphere like lightning shattering the darkness, sudden, undeniable, electric. It will echo through the spiritual deserts like a trumpet's blast, reverberating across dry bones, stirring life where death had long claimed dominion. And in that moment, you will know. You will not have to guess. You will not need a headline or an expert's analysis. Your spirit, finely tuned by every trial, every heartbreak, every silent prayer whispered through trembling lips, will recognize it instantly. It will awaken something ancient within you, something that has been sleeping not because it was dead, but because the appointed hour had not yet come. Now it comes. Now it calls. This sign is not a spectacle for casual eyes. It is a divine alarm for the awakened. It is the unfolding of a secret long hidden in the heart of God, revealed now because the world has reached its tipping point, and the chosen must rise. You must keep your heart open, chosen one. Do not let it be hardened by cynicism or dulled by the constant clamor of worldly noise. Stay alert. Stay pure. For this sign will not be accompanied by fanfare that the world understands. It will be clothed in mystery, wrapped in paradox, hidden in plain sight, seen only by those whose eyes have been trained by faith and not by sight. It may flash in the heavens, it may stir in the winds, it may rise up in the very events that the world misinterprets and dismisses. The proud will overlook it, the distracted will miss it entirely, but you will see. You will feel it resonate through your very bones like an ancient drum calling the warriors home. You will hear it humming in your soul like a forgotten melody suddenly remembered. And when it comes, your spirit will leap as John leapt in the womb of Elizabeth at the sound of Mary's greeting. It will be a knowing deeper than intellect, a certainty that bypasses logic and ignites the soul. The veil that separates the seen from the unseen will ripple, thin, and in that sliver of eternity-piercing time, you will glimpse the hidden hand of God moving. Will you be ready to recognize it? Will your heart be soft enough, your ears keen enough, your spirit courageous enough to say, "This is the sign I was born to witness"? Or will the cares of this world cloud your vision, causing you to brush aside the sacred for the sake of the ordinary? The world will laugh. It will mock. It will try to explain away what only the Spirit can discern. Scientists may craft theories, commentators may spin narratives, leaders may issue proclamations, but none of them will be able to erase what the chosen will see written across the sky of the soul. You, chosen one, must decide now, in the silence before the storm, that you will trust the voice that has guided you thus far. You must decide now that you will stay awake when the world slumbers. You must decide now that when the lightning flashes and the trumpet sounds, you will not run in fear, but rise in faith. For this sign is not coming to entertain you, it is coming to activate you. It is coming to seal what has already been whispered into your destiny since before you were formed in your mother's womb. It is coming to ignite the fire within you to a level you have never before experienced. It is coming to divide those who walk by faith from those who walk by sight. It is coming to call forth the true heirs of the kingdom, the ones willing to step into the unknown, with nothing but the word of God as their lamp. There will be trembling across the earth. There will be confusion among the nations. There will be awe in the heavens. But you will have clarity. You will have peace. You will have a knowing that the world cannot comprehend, because your knowing is not rooted in human evidence, but in divine encounter. Remember this. When the lightning splits the night, when the trumpet echoes across the barren deserts of the soul, when the world shudders under the weight of change, do not shrink back. Lift your head high, open your arms wide. Your redemption is drawing near. This is the moment you were created for. This is the hour heaven has been preparing you to meet. This is the fulfillment of promises whispered across generations, now finding their crescendo in you. The world may not understand it. They do not have to. It was never meant for them. It was meant for you, the chosen, the called, the courageous. Heaven has assigned you to this hour, and heaven is about to send its sign. Be ready, chosen one. The night is breaking. The trumpet is about to sound, and your spirit is about to awaken like never before. If your soul has been stirring, you're being prepared. Chosen one, perhaps you have already begun to sense it, the subtle yet undeniable signs stirring in the deep places of your spirit. They arrive not with trumpet blasts or roaring winds, but like whispers moving through the corridors of your soul, too persistent to ignore, too sacred to dismiss. These are the signs that preparation is already unfolding within you, shaping you for the destiny that is now rushing to meet you. Have you found yourself dreaming dreams that defy explanation? Not just ordinary dreams, but ones so vivid, so weighted with meaning that you awaken breathless. your heart pounding with a strange blend of awe and urgency. Dreams filled with strange landscapes, unfamiliar faces, impossible journeys, yet woven through it all a thread of undeniable significance. These are not the random wanderings of a restless mind. These are divine signals, sacred dispatches from a higher realm, whispering to your sleeping spirit that something monumental is on its way. Have you felt powerful instincts rising within you, gut feelings that seem to know things long before your mind catches up, a sudden urge to change direction, to reach out to someone, to leave behind what no longer serves the calling you cannot yet fully articulate? These instincts are not paranoia. They are divine alarms, finely tuned over the years of your unseen preparation, now beginning to ring louder as your moment draws near. Perhaps you have experienced sudden waves of emotion that seem to come from nowhere, breaking over you like a tide you cannot resist. Moments when your heart feels too full for your chest, when tears rise without warning, when sorrow or hope or unexplainable joy flood your spirit and leave you gasping. This is not weakness. This is not emotional instability. This is your spirit responding to shifts happening not only in you, but around you, as heaven realigns history and your soul feels the tremors. And maybe, just maybe, you have felt a hunger, an aching, gnawing thirst, not for fame, not for fortune, but for purpose, a longing to live with meaning so fierce that the ordinary pleasures of life no longer satisfy you, a yearning to step fully into the life you know, deep down you were born to live, a desperation to be aligned, to be authentic, to be available to whatever great mission heaven has carved for you before the foundations of the world. This longing is not misplaced. It is your true calling, beginning to awaken. If you are experiencing these signs, these strange dreams, these powerful instincts, these overwhelming emotions, this restless hunger, you must understand something vital. Your preparation has already begun. You are not waiting for God to move. God is already moving within you. You are not on the outside looking in. You are standing on the threshold, your spirit vibrating with the frequency of the shift that is already happening. Heaven is not considering whether you are ready. Heaven has already declared you chosen. Heaven is now training your senses to recognize the unseen battle lines, the hidden doors, the divine appointments disguised as ordinary moments. It may feel uncomfortable. It may feel unsettling. It may even feel frightening at times, because the old structures of your life are crumbling under the weight of the new glory trying to be born. But do not mistake this discomfort for disaster. It is not a sign that you are lost. It is a sign that you are being realigned. The dreams you cannot explain. They are visions sent to prepare your mind for realities not yet seen. The instincts you cannot silence. They are the navigational tools your soul will need to walk paths few dare to tread. The emotions that overwhelm you? They are rivers of living water being stirred inside you, ready to pour out when the world is parched for hope. The hunger that refuses to be filled. It is a holy hunger, a divine discontent, meant to drive you out of complacency and into your true commission. You are not breaking down. You are being built up. You are not being forgotten. You are being focused. You are not being delayed. You are being developed. Every trembling in your spirit, every flicker of awakening in your soul, every tear you have shed in lonely rooms, every silent cry for more than this world can offer, these are the markers of your preparation. Chosen one, your spirit is already standing taller. Even if your body still feels weary, your heart is already expanding, even if your mind struggles to keep pace. Your destiny is already unfolding, even if the path ahead still seems obscured by mist. The hidden labor of your soul is not in vain. The contractions you are feeling are not random pain. They are the birth pangs of destiny. When you look around and see others sleeping, distracted, chasing hollow things, do not envy them. Their slumber is their seduction. Your awakening is your anointing. Their comfort is their captivity. Your hunger is your liberation. So listen closely. The dreams will grow clearer, the instincts will grow sharper, the emotions will grow deeper, the hunger will grow more insatiable, and when the appointed hour strikes, you will find that you have already been equipped, not by worldly standards, but by heavenly fire. Do not despise the signs within you. They are sacred. Do not dismiss the stirring in your spirit. It is divine. Do not fear the growing tension in your soul. It is the stretching necessary to contain the greater glory about to be poured out through you. If you are feeling these signs, chosen one, hear me clearly. You are not crazy. You are not lost. You are not broken beyond repair. You are being prepared. Heaven is awakening you, because the hour is at hand, and when the moment arrives, and it will, you will rise, not as someone surprised, but as someone summoned. The world will marvel. The heavens will rejoice, and your spirit will finally gloriously know, I was born for this. Even giants of faith once walked through shadows. Chosen one, if you have ever felt isolated in your journey, if you have ever cried silent tears in the darkness with no one to wipe them away, if you have ever carried a burden so heavy it bent your spirit until you thought it would break, you are not alone. This path you walk is ancient. It has been trodden by the greatest souls who came before you, each of them forged in the fires of loneliness, heartbreak, and divine preparation. Consider Harriet Tubman, born into slavery, treated as property by a world blind to her worth. As a young girl, she suffered brutality so severe it left her with lifelong injuries, visions, and dreams that others dismissed as madness. Yet, in the stillness of her pain, God whispered to her spirit. She saw flashes of the path to freedom, not only for herself, but for hundreds who would follow. There were nights when Harriet walked alone under the endless sky, unsure if the next step would lead to liberty or death. Fear clawed at her, loneliness gnawed at her, but purpose burned brighter. She could have chosen safety, silence, surrender, but she chose faith. And because she did, generations would know her name not as a victim of injustice, but as a deliverer. It was not in her comfort that she discovered her destiny. It was in her chains, her weeping, her relentless courage to keep moving through the night when every voice but God's told her to stop. Or think of Nikola Tesla, a mind decades, perhaps centuries ahead of his time. He wandered the streets of New York, pockets empty, soul full of visions too vast for the world to understand. His inventions, his insights, his dreams of a world connected by invisible energy. Many thought him insane. He lived much of his life in isolation, betrayed by those who saw him as a means to an end. He poured his brilliance into the earth, often unrewarded, often mocked, often forgotten. But still he pressed forward, because the fire inside him could not be extinguished by the smallness of others' understanding. He glimpsed a higher reality and dedicated his life to pulling it into existence. And though he died with little recognition, today the world hums with the power he foresaw. His loneliness was not the evidence of failure, it was the crucible that refined his genius. And what of Joan of Arc, the teenage girl who changed the destiny of a nation? She was not a noble woman, not a scholar, not a warrior in the ways of men. She was a peasant girl who heard the voice of God calling her to do the impossible, to lead armies, to crown kings, to free her people. She faced suspicion, betrayal, and the ultimate price of her obedience, her life. Yet she never faltered. In the loneliness of her prison cell, in the betrayal of her false judges, even in the flames that consumed her body, Joan's spirit stood taller than any sword could cut down. History remembers her not for her titles, but for her obedience, not for her comfort, but for her courage. She could have bowed to fear, she could have silenced the voice within. Instead, she chose to become the echo of heaven's decree, chosen one. What these souls shared was not privilege or ease or worldly favor. It was pain. It was loneliness. It was the unbearable tension of carrying a vision the world was not ready to see. It was the crushing weight of a destiny that demanded everything and promised even greater things in return. If you find yourself misunderstood, isolated, aching from the burdens that seem too heavy for your fragile frame, know this: you are in good company. You are standing in the lineage of legends, prophets, visionaries, who were not chosen because they were strong, but became strong because they were chosen. It is in the tears that no one sees that the roots of greatness grow. It is in the nights where despair howls loudest that destiny carves its deepest foundations. It is in the invisible battles, the ones fought in silence on the battlefield of the soul, that the victories of tomorrow are secured. When you wonder why the path is so steep, why the nights are so long, why the dreams are so heavy, remember, diamonds are formed under pressure, stars are born in the collapse of darkness, and leaders, true leaders, heaven's leaders, are forged not in applause, but in agony. Do not curse your pain. It is proof you are alive in a world desperate for true life. Do not despise your loneliness. It is heaven's way of calling you closer, setting you apart, tuning your ears to the whispers others cannot hear. Do not fear your tears. They are holy water, softening the soil of your soul so that the seeds of destiny can take root and bear fruit. Harriet's chains did not defeat her, they awakened her. Tesla's rejection did not diminish him, it refined him. Joan's flames did not destroy her, they sanctified her legacy. And you, chosen one, you are walking the same sacred path. Every moment you endure, every silent battle you fight, every unseen tear you shed, heaven records it all. Not a single sigh is wasted, not a single step is forgotten. When the sign comes, and it is coming, it will not catch you unprepared. It will find you ready, forged by fire, crowned by endurance, made worthy by every unseen sacrifice. And when that day arrives, the world may still not understand you, but heaven will stand to its feet and thunder, "Well done, faithful one. Well done, courageous soul. Well done, chosen one. You were not broken, you were becoming. You were not abandoned, you were anointed. You were not forgotten, you were forged. And now your hour draws near. Hesitate now, and you may miss your destiny. Chosen one, the hour is no longer distant, hidden beyond the horizon. It is racing toward you now like a storm gathering force, like a tidal wave that will not wait for hesitation or indecision. The sign is not creeping, it is charging. Every moment you feel the trembling in your spirit, the heightened tension in the air, it is because heaven itself is sending out the final alarms. The veil between the natural and the supernatural grows thinner by the hour, and those who have eyes to see, ears to hear, hearts tuned to the divine frequency, they will know, they will move, they will rise. You must understand, this sacred signal will not announce itself with flashing lights for all the world to see. It will not be broadcasted with fanfare to the distracted masses. It will come as a whisper to the watchful, a flash to the awakened, a fire to those who have dared to prepare their hearts for this very collision of heaven and earth. If your spirit has been stirring, if you have felt a surge of urgency that words cannot explain, you are closer than you realize. The appointed time is breathing upon your life, and every fiber of your soul must be ready to respond. But hear this, and hear it clearly. Hesitation will cost you. Indecision will strip you of your divine appointment. If you are waiting for more signs, for clearer skies, for louder voices, you will miss the moment etched into eternity for you alone. The clock of heaven is not ticking in endless circles. It is counting down. It is moving forward. And the window for your ascent is narrow. Those who linger in comfort will be left wondering what could have been. Those who bury their calling in fear will watch their destinies pass by like ships they were too afraid to board. The signs are not coming. They are here. Dreams are sharpening. Prophetic instincts are igniting. Shifts in the world stage are aligning with ancient promises foretold by prophets and visionaries long before you took your first breath. This is not theory, it is reality, accelerating with every heartbeat. To ignore it now is to betray the very reason you were sent into this time, into this hour of history. There is no neutral ground in a season of awakening. You will either step forward with boldness or be swept aside by the tide of change. Think for a moment, chosen one, about the weight you have been feeling. That relentless pull towards something more, something higher. That restless discontent with shallow living. It has been heaven's way of preparing you, breaking the chains of comfort that would have kept you tethered to the ordinary. You were never created to remain hidden in the background while history is rewritten. You were born to leave a mark only a soul set on fire by God can leave. But you must move. You must awaken, because this divine wave will not circle back a second time to plead with your hesitation. It will sweep through, gathering the willing and passing by the reluctant. It will ignite those ready to be consumed by divine purpose, and leave behind those too entangled in fear to say yes. Do not think you have endless time. That is the great deception of those who miss their hour. They believe the invitation would wait indefinitely. It will not. Every second you delay, the distance between your destiny and your current comfort grows. Every moment you ignore the trembling of your soul, you drift further from the appointed intersection where your obedience and God's glory collide. And when the sign bursts forth, yes, when the thunderclap of heaven breaks open over the earth, those who hesitated will look back with the most bitter regret a soul can know, not that they were denied destiny, but that they declined it. I tell you this with urgency, not with condemnation. You are still in the window of opportunity. You are still within reach of your divine mandate. But the window is closing, chosen one. It is closing swiftly. You cannot afford another day of small thinking. You cannot indulge another night of fear-fed delay. Heaven's army is assembling, and your name has been called among its ranks. So I ask you, with all the gravity this moment demands, will you awaken fully? Will you cast off the chains of doubt and rise with the authority you were anointed to carry? Will you stop second-guessing the fire within you and finally fan it into the roaring blaze it was meant to become? This is not the time for half measures. This is not the season for cautious steps. This is the hour for holy boldness. The sign will not be given to the passive. It will not be entrusted to the lukewarm. It will appear like lightning slashing the midnight sky, brief, brilliant, undeniable, and only those already standing in readiness will know what to do. You must be one of them. Do not sleep through your summons. Do not second-guess the stirrings of your spirit. Do not wait for the world's permission to obey heaven's call. Because when the trumpet sounds, when the heavens tear open with the declaration of your time, it will be too late to start preparing. You must be ready now. You must live ready, breathe ready, move ready. The divine moment is not waiting, it is upon you. Chosen one, I say this not to burden you, but to awaken you. Your destiny depends on your response. Eternity is watching. Heaven is leaning close. Your ancestors are cheering. Your future is calling. Will you answer before the final door swings shut? This is your moment, and it will not come again. Write your commitment across heaven's sky, chosen one. If you have stayed with me this far, if your spirit has remained stirred, if your heart is pounding with the deep awareness that something is shifting within you and around you, then it is time for you to make a declaration. This is not a passive journey. This is not a quiet reflection. This is a divine moment demanding a response, a signal to heaven itself that you are awake, aware, and aligned with the assignment written over your life before the foundations of the earth. I am calling you now, not for me, not for the algorithms of this world, but for your own soul's alignment with the highest will of God. If you feel the burning inside you, if you know in the marrow of your bones that you are one of the chosen ones, then I invite you, no, I urge you to act. Not later, not when it feels more convenient. Right now, in this sacred breath, I am asking you to make a stand in the Spirit. Type the number 777 in the comments. This is not a gimmick. This is not a shallow interaction. 777 is the divine number of completion, of heavenly perfection, of the fullness of what God has designed for those who love Him. It is the number that symbolizes that your time of preparation is converging with your time of activation. By typing 777, you are not merely posting a number, you are planting a flag in the spirit realm. You are declaring, I am stepping into my divine destiny. I am finishing the old season and beginning the ordained new. And then, speak it with boldness. Comment these 3 words, I am ready, not as a whisper, but as a roar of agreement between your soul and the courts of heaven. These 3 words may seem small, but they carry the weight of generations. They are not typed for the screen, they are carved into eternity. Every angel, every spiritual witness, every force of heaven leans closer when a chosen one says, I am ready. You see, chosen one, heaven does not move by observation alone. Heaven responds to faith made visible through action. When Noah heard the call, he did not ponder forever, he built the ark. When Abraham received the promise, he walked out of everything familiar into the unknown. When Esther heard the decree, she stepped before the king at the risk of her life. Faith always demands a visible movement. This is your moment for such movement. This is why I ask you to type 777 and to declare I am ready, because it will take your internal knowing and transform it into external commitment. It will bridge the unseen fire in your spirit into the visible arena of your life. It will say to every force that ever doubted you, to every lie that ever tried to silence you, to every fear that ever tried to paralyze you, I am ready. I am ready to rise. I am ready to answer. I am ready to fulfill the call. And understand this, heaven takes note of every act of faith. It is written, the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to Him. 2 Chronicles 16:9. When you declare your readiness, you are inviting supernatural strength to flood your spirit. You are marking yourself as one who will not be overlooked in the great movement of God sweeping through the earth. Do not underestimate what seems like a small action. In the kingdom of heaven, small seeds of obedience produce towering harvests of destiny. David was a shepherd boy until one act of courage before Goliath shifted the course of history. Mary was a young girl until one word, let it be to me according to your word, ushered the Savior into the world. Moses was a fugitive in the desert until one encounter with a burning bush, one step toward the flame, changed everything. Today, your burning bush moment is here. The fire of heaven is calling your name. The sacred whisper of God is inviting you to say, not later, not someday, but now, right now. This is the time to step into what was spoken over your life long before you took your first breath. And you begin that by declaring, I am ready. As you type 777, as you write, I am ready, imagine it like the blowing of a trumpet in the unseen realms. Demons will tremble, angels will rally, heaven will record it, and you, beloved chosen one, will take the first step into the most significant season of your life. You may wonder, is this really necessary? Does it matter if I type a comment? Let me tell you, it is not the comment itself, it is the faith behind it. It is the agreement between your will and God's will that unleashes the miraculous. It is the moment your faith becomes action, your internal fire becomes external proclamation, and heaven always honors faith made visible. This is more than just participation in a video. This is covenant. This is spiritual warfare. This is legacy. Your simple act of obedience in this moment could be the first domino that triggers a cascade of divine appointments, prophetic fulfillments, miracles you could never have orchestrated in your own strength. So, chosen one, do not delay. Do not let fear or hesitation rob you of the joy of saying yes to your destiny. Type 777. Type, I am ready. Make your stand, stake your claim, declare to heaven, to earth, to hell itself that you are no longer sitting on the sidelines. You are stepping into the story God has written for you, because the moment is now. The kingdom is advancing. The sign is already on its way, and you, dear soul, are not called to observe it from a distance. You are called to ride the wave of glory that is about to crash upon the earth. Answer the call, declare your readiness, and watch as heaven meets you with fire. You were born for this, and heaven has been waiting for your yes. Type 777. Write, I am ready. Step into history. Step into destiny. Step into your divine appointment. Because the world is about to see what happens when a chosen one rises. You were chosen to carry light through the darkest night. Chosen one, hear me now. You were not called simply to survive. You were not summoned by heaven to blend into the background of history, living for your own comfort and fading into the noise of this passing world. No, you were chosen to lead. You were set apart to become the torchbearer in a time when darkness will seem to swallow everything in its path. Your existence carries a sacred responsibility, a weight of destiny that few can even comprehend, let alone carry. But you are not like the masses. You have been refined, tested, broken, and remade. Not for your own sake alone, but for the sake of those who are lost, wandering, and blind in the chaos. You are not here merely to be blessed. You are here to become a blessing. Your hands are not your own anymore. Your voice is no longer meant only for your personal battles. Your gifts, your wisdom, your resilience, these were always meant to be poured out like oil over the wounds of a broken world. In the days to come, when confusion reigns and fear grips the hearts of men, it will not be the institutions, the celebrities, or the powerful who lead the way. It will be the chosen ones. It will be those who are willing to say, I will carry the fire even when the night is at its darkest. I am speaking to the part of you that already knows this truth. That part of you that has felt an ancient calling pulling at your spirit long before you even understood its name. That part of you that has always felt the ache of purpose, the silent question in the quiet hours, was I born for more? The answer has always been yes. You were born for more. You were born for this very hour. You are called to be the lighthouse on the stormy shores, the shepherd in the wilderness, the trumpet in the silence. Chosen one, there will come a moment when the darkness will seem suffocating, when panic will ripple through the hearts of nations, when the anchors of society will be ripped from their moorings. And in that moment, the world will look desperately for light, for truth, for courage. That is when you will rise. That is when your preparation will meet its purpose. You will not hide. You will not falter. You will lift your torch high. You will proclaim hope where others see only ruin. You will lead, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. You will be the bridge between what is falling apart and what is being built anew. You will be the voice that reminds humanity that even in the darkest hour, God is still moving, still speaking, still sovereign. You will not be exempt from the storms, but you will walk through them with a peace and authority that confounds those around you, because you are not walking in your own strength. You are walking in the commissioning fire of heaven itself. I am asking you now to commit, not just in word, not just in emotion, but in spirit, soul, and body. Will you be the one who carries the flame when others drop it? Will you be the one who speaks when the world falls silent? Will you be the one who remembers the promise when the night grows long and hope seems distant? This is not a calling for the faint-hearted. This is a summons for warriors of the Spirit, for those who dare to believe that one life, surrendered fully to the will of God, can change the course of generations. I tell you this with all the gravity of heaven's truth. Your leadership is not optional, it is ordained. Your light is not just for you to feel good about yourself. It is the beacon by which others will find their way home. You were not saved to sit. You were saved to serve, to lead, to ignite. And the torch you carry was handed to you by the very hands that formed the stars, crafted the galaxies, and breathed life into the dust. When the shadows stretch long across the land and fear whispers its lies, you will not be moved. You will stand firm. You will lead the march of the awakened. Because deep down, you have always known. You were never made for comfort. You were made for conquest. Spiritual conquest. Holy conquest. You are here to reclaim what darkness tried to steal. Chosen one, lift your eyes. Feel the urgency in the spirit. The hour is late. The need is desperate. Heaven is watching. Earth is trembling. The heavens declare the glory of God, but the earth groans for the sons and daughters of light to rise. Will you answer the call? Will you burn brighter when the world grows darker? Will you lead when others fall silent? The future is not something happening to you. It is something happening through you. Every tear you have shed, every disappointment you have endured, every delay you have suffered has been shaping you into the leader you are destined to become. Nothing has been wasted. Everything has been preparation. And now the time of preparation is giving way to the time of action. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people set apart for the display of God's splendor. You are called to lead, not through titles or applause, but through unwavering faithfulness. Your authority is not earthly, it is divine. It is rooted in the unshakable foundation of the King who cannot be moved. Your leadership will not look like the world's leadership. It will be marked by humility, by fire, by unbreakable compassion. So I ask you now, not casually but with holy reverence, will you carry the torch when it matters most? Will you be the one who stands when others collapse? Will you be the vessel heaven can trust with a generation's destiny? This is not the time to shrink back. This is not the hour to wait for a better moment. This is the time to rise. The heavens are watching. The earth is waiting. Your moment is now. Chosen one, you were born for this, not just to witness history, but to make it. Not just to survive the darkness, but to shine through it. Not just to hold the flame, but to pass it on, igniting others in a wildfire of awakening that no darkness can extinguish. Lead, chosen one. Lead with fire. Lead with love. Lead with the unshakable certainty that you were appointed for such a time as this. The world needs your light now more than ever. The time you've been waiting for is already here. Chosen one, hear me now with every fiber of your being. You do not have to wait any longer. The hour you have prayed for, the season you have longed for, the destiny that has been whispering your name across the decades is no longer a distant dream. It is not on the horizon, it is here. The gates have opened, the heavens have shifted, and the divine clock has struck the appointed hour. You were never meant to live your life waiting endlessly at the edge of purpose. You were made to walk boldly into it. This is not the time to delay. This is not the time to second-guess yourself, to shrink back, to wonder if you are enough. You have been prepared. Every trial, every heartbreak, every solitary night of wrestling with your purpose was not in vain. Heaven has been working in secret, shaping you into a vessel capable of carrying a light that will not flicker under the weight of darkness. You were not overlooked. You were set apart. Now is the time to rise. Rise with the fire of conviction burning in your bones. Rise with the certainty that you are backed by heaven's authority. Rise knowing that no matter how fierce the storm ahead may be, you are called to walk on the waters of destiny. You are the fulfillment of promises spoken long before your first breath. You are the evidence that God is still writing stories of redemption, revolution, and resurrection. You do not need another confirmation. This is it. You do not need another sign. You are the sign. Your very existence, your awakening spirit, your relentless hope in a weary world, all of it points to the unstoppable movement of God that is now surging across the earth. The time for hesitation is gone. The time for timid prayers is over. Now is the time to speak with boldness, to move with faith, to build what others said was impossible. I tell you, with all the gravity of heaven's truth, if you step forward now, you will not step alone. Divine favor will chase you wherever you go. Miracles will rise in the footprints you leave behind. Walls will crumble at your command, not because of your strength, but because of the one who called you by name before the foundations of the world were laid. You are not an accident. You are not random. You are divinely orchestrated. You have been anointed for such a time as this, not to blend in with the noise of a trembling world, but to be a voice that pierces through it. Not to cower before uncertainty, but to shape the new reality emerging from the ashes of the old. You are a city on a hill that cannot be hidden, a torch in the hands of the Almighty, burning away the fog of confusion and lighting the way for others to follow. Chosen one, listen closely now. There will be moments when fear tries to whisper louder than faith. There will be nights when doubt knocks at your door, disguised as logic and self-preservation. But you will remember this moment. You will remember that you were called, not because you were the strongest, the loudest, or the most qualified, but because you were willing. Willing to say yes when others said no, willing to step forward when others shrank back. And because you said yes, heaven has set a crown upon your head and placed a sword of truth in your hand. You are not entering into battle unarmed. You are walking forward clothed in divine armor, guided by the Spirit, surrounded by angels, and carrying a mandate from the King of Kings. Every step you take from this moment forward is a step into fulfillment. Every word you speak will carry a weight that shifts atmospheres. Every prayer you pray will echo in eternity. The shift you have sensed, the stirring that has kept you awake at night, the unexplainable urgency pressing against your spirit. It was never random. It was the sound of destiny awakening inside you. It was heaven's trumpet announcing that the time has come. The final pieces are falling into place. The curtain is lifting. The world is holding its breath, and the stage is set for the rise of those who were born for this hour. Chosen one, I bless you now. May divine favor chase you wherever you go. May your steps be lit by holy fire. May your words drip with heavenly wisdom. May your heart beat in rhythm with the will of God. May you walk in miracles, speak in revelations, and lead with unshakable love. May you see with the eyes of a prophet, move with the boldness of a warrior, and love with the heart of a shepherd. You are not called to survive. You are called to thrive. You are not called to observe. You are called to overturn. You are not called to wonder if you have a role. You are called to write history with every breath you take. The time is not coming, the time is here, and you, chosen one, are ready. Step forward without fear, act with holy confidence, move with the unshakable knowing that God Himself goes before you and behind you and within you. The road will rise to meet you, the heavens will respond to your prayers, the earth will shift beneath the authority you walk in. This is the hour, this is the moment. You have been chosen, not just to see it, but to lead it. So now, chosen one, do not delay, do not shrink back, do not wait for another sign. Stand up, step forward, speak out, shine brightly, blaze trails, heal wounds, awaken the sleeping, build the future, shake the foundations, herald the kingdom. The world has waited long enough. Heaven has waited long enough. Now it waits no longer. The time is now. The calling is now. The destiny is now. You are ready. May divine favor chase you wherever you go.